Hey, you got the candy back?
It is 3:04, so I was supposed to start 4 minutes ago, but hashtag, it's Saturday, so, Hey guys, my name is Natalie Hoover. It's nice to meet everyone here in Round Rock, Texas. Very fun. I'm a voice actor who used to live in California, and then I permanently moved to Texas about 7 months ago.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I love candy.
Also, is recording photo okay?
Oh, photo's okay, audio's okay. As long as you get my good angle with the camera.
Is this your good angle?
I guess so.
Okay.
You should tell if I have a double chin. That's not a good angle. But yeah, I'm okay with any of that. Thank you for asking. It's just for like panels to do with, you know, stuff that you guys came here for. Like our voice acting panels that we request no video, visual jazz. Thank you for reminding me. So I'm Natalie Hoover. I've been voice acting for 4 years. Stuff I've been in, I have a cheat sheet on my notes site because I forget. I'm in Funimation shows, Riddle Story of Devil, which is Akame no Riddle, and I play Hitsugi Kirigaya, Show by Rock as Tsukino, in the band Krista, Noragami Oragoto as Minaha, one of the Shikis, Bishamon's Shikis. Lord Marksman Evangelist, which is coming out, I think, in a few days, and I play Princess Regine. Gargantia, I play Saya. Giovanni's Island is a movie, I voice Tanya, it's a beautiful movie, you should watch it. Sword Art Online, Yorko. Magi, I voice Toya, and then video games, there's Fairy Prince F, Tiara. Sorry, it's a long time. Diana for 2, Goodbye Despair, I play Somi Nevermind, that's my most popular role. Tales of Hysteria as Aiden Police, Border Magna, Made in Heaven as Adelheid, Hyperdimension Noir as Little Rain, and then The Witch in the Hundred Nights as Raven's the Pumpkin Witch. And those are all my roles. I have more roles coming out. Oh, I'm in Love Live. I got to announce that last night as Fumiko, the cutest fan ever. What else? And I'm also on mobile games. That's my resume. It's slowly growing and progressing, which makes me a happy camper. But that's me, and then I guess I can open up the floor to any questions. Like Caitlin's panel, you can ask me anything. If it's inappropriate, that can be asked later tonight, because it is still, it is 3 o'clock. It is not past 6. So, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. They can be silly, funny, professional, anything, because if you got no Q's, I got no A's. So, that is my theory. Yes?
Funniest accident that happened during a recording?
Oh God. I almost fainted. Does that count as funny? I almost fainted while recording. What show was that? Fairy Fencer F as Tiara. She has to do a battle cry and die in some parts. And the director's like, oh, can you do that again? And again. One more time. I'm like, huh. Oh God. And then I was like, I see dots. This is not good. I know what this means. It means I'm going to faint. And that's the only time I ever almost fainted. What else? In Funimation, there's these things called bombs, which is basically something to make your co-actor laugh to and ruin their take. And recently, am I allowed to curse on this panel since it's 18? Yes. Okay. I can't say the show yet. It was supposed to be announced yesterday. Hopefully it'll be announced today. His blooper was, I got 3 bitches on one hand and 2 on the right. You want to be the other? And it matched the lip flaps perfectly. And I was laughing so hard. I'm like, I think I have to take a 5-minute break. So I walked over to his booth. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? I was doing so well, and then I took a break for QC. He was like, you're welcome. That was pretty funny, but usually it's the bombs that get me. And I think the one that actually got me a lot was my friend KG Tane came out to record for Lord Marksman Evangelist. And KG Tane is a beautiful Asian man. He played an Asian man in the show. And this guy had like long mustache, whisker thingy, and whenever he talked, it twitched. And so I didn't know he was in the show. He said he looked like a present. I thought it was a legit present. I'm like, oh, where's my present? And here. And then I didn't find out until like 2 days later. It was him talking in a heavy Asian accent. He's like, oh, Princess Reggie, I'm so relieved you are safe. And he's like, you are such a bitch. And, like all this stuff. And I think my reaction was in the script was, and I go, and Caitlin was like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna record that. I'm like, yeah. But I think those are my funniest moments. They're slowly growing. because they're hilarious. Why not have a collection of them? The next question? Yes.
You referred to having multiple actors in booths at the same time. How common is it that you're both on set at the same time versus one person records today and another person records later?
That's usually for prelay, and the difference between that is prelay is when all the actors are together, and so like Steven Universe is prelay, anything on Cartoon Network is prelay, anything American cartoons are prelay. Unfortunately, video games and anime, you're usually by yourself and with the director and engineer, so you three have a lot of inside jokes that you talk to your co-host, and you're like, yeah, this happened, like, I have no clue what you're talking about. But I've auditioned for prelay shows, I've never booked one, but I've been told they're fun. But the only issue runs into that is you have to read through it like as many times as the director wants until he gets it right. And with voice acting, it's literally like bam, 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 and you keep moving on until the director's like, okay, I like that line, let's keep going. With prelay, you can redo the entire script at least 7 times in a row during the day. You can be there from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. at night. So, but they actually pay really nice too. Yeah. Good question. I'm unfortunately not part of prelay yet. Yes, sir.
What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
All of them. But I'm very prone to strawberry, anything Ben and Jerry, and I was liking Bluebell Creamery. Is that the one that has Listeria in it now?
Yeah.
And I had to once, never again, because I didn't want to catch that. But it looked good. I had the pistachio flavor, and it was quite delightful. I love ice cream. I love desserts, as you can tell. Every dessert, oh my god. But yeah, I love food. Yes. Next question. Feel free to ask anything. It is what, 3 o'clock? It is 3:11. Ask whatever you want. Anything. Don't be shy. Please. Yes.
Favorite Carol on?
Oh, did you play Fragrance Rap?
I didn't, but I watched it.
That's
with the
okay.
lights, so I was-
You still kind of played it. I count as if you've watched playthroughs, you've kind of played it.
I watched parts.
Good job. I think my favorite line was, I'm trying to think, I recorded that about a year ago. I think it's the one where she's like, I shall let both of you become my servants. How does that sound? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't that great? And they're like, no. Why the hell I want that? And it's Keiji Tang and Erica Mendez playing the two opposite characters who are like my two best friends. So I'm sad. I wish we did prelay for video games. Man, that'd be great. But for JRPGs, it's usually alone. But for like Last of Us, it's all together. So tears, so many tears. But I think anything Tiara says is hilarious. I got a lot of feedback from the director because if you guys don't play the game, Tiara is a beautiful young lady who drinks tea and collects the Furies, not furries. I kept saying that in the booth. And she has a tendency to be sexually aroused when she's insulted by the main character. So of course I make sexually aroused noises, and the client and the director were just like, both male, were like, that was yeah, keep going. That was great. I was like, okay. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I love Tiara as a character though. She was my very first video game lead, and I'm very proud of her. So I hope the second game comes out. I won't know until I get called back in, hopefully. So yeah. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What's your favorite Love Live News song and why?
That's the hardest question to ask me. I'm a huge Love Live fan. If you all have not seen Love Live and you love singing and dancing and friendship and music, just watch it so we can please tweet about it together. Snow Halation is my #1 fan. My song, not fan, song, not my #1 song. Absolutely love it. Stardust is a second close. My favorite single is anything Hanayo sings. Hanayo is my waifu. I've never had a waifu. Thank you for coming, guys. And she loves rice. I love rice. So
Nice.
yeah, I love that show.
And good choices.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
At any given time, how many like NDAs do you have?
Depends on how many shows I'm working on. Right now I have 5 NDAs. 5 shows I can't talk about. But it can range anywhere from 5 to 0. Like what last month I wasn't working on anything, and all of a sudden it's like, oh here's work, and here's work, here's work. I noticed it's much easier nowadays with the simulcast dubs of Funimation, which come out weekly, Funimation.com. You can subscribe, it's pretty great. You get the English dub before anyone else does. I find with those it's much easier because you can announce them really fast. Like, it's like you record 1 week and then 2 weeks later it's out. Unlike DVD dub, where if you record it, let's see, I recorded Real Story of Devil in March, and it got announced in December. And there are some shows that, I think I recorded Love Live like last year in June, and it just got announced yesterday.
Wow.
So there are some DVD shows that you're like, when is this coming out? And you can't talk about it until it's been announced it's getting dubbed, or the DVD is literally being sold. And that's pretty difficult. So NDAs can literally range from 0 to as many as like how many people want you in the show. That's a good question. Also, NDAs are non-disclosure agreements. Basically, if you talk about it and you're in it, they can either recast you or you'll be blacklisted. You'll never work with that studio again. And it's basically a huge trust thing where I trust you not to talk about the show. And I trust you in the sense of working on the show and not telling anything to anyone. But I think everyone has these things with a voice actor called friend DAs, where you tell your friends, and they're like, oh my god, I love that show. And I'm like, yeah, I do too, that's why I'm in it. So, yeah, good question. Little tidbit. Yes?
I have another one for you.
Go for it.
I used to do a lot of like theater style acting and stuff, and I spent a really long time getting into character.
Mm-hmm.
Do you as a voice actor do something similar to that?
Yes, it depends on the character. When I was recording for Sakino, what was her line? I think it was, Strawberry Daifuk are the best. That was literally, I said that and I was in character. But there are other characters where I don't remember the voice. Like, can I hear my sample real quick? And then you have to like imagine, like, okay, I'm at this range, not this range. Because there are some characters, I thought I was higher and I was actually lower. I'm like, oh, I was in choir, I should know this. No range. But to get into character, it really depends. For Tiara, I would just be really preppy, and for Sonia, I would go like this in the booth, because I don't know, I thought princesses did this, do a lot of hand movements. It really depends on the character though. But that's a good question. We can talk about that more too later. Yes?
How does that work out with the broadcast stuff?
It's difficult because you're not given a lot of time to get to know that character except every week. While if there's a DVD show, you literally can binge through that show, like, oh, I love this character. While broadcast shows, you're like, I know nothing about you until every week. Oh my god. Which is what I'm going through right now with this one show. And I thought she was just gonna be the smallest big character, and now I'm like, oh. Well, I wasn't expecting to get more hours, but that's cool. But I can literally, it's hard, I think it's harder for the directors, because they're like, oh, like say Caitlin, I want to use this one character, and she's a really good character, but then you find out her part is minuscule to the plot. And that's happened to a lot of my friends, and they're like, it's fine, let's go on the show. I don't care, I like the show. But that can happen. It's kind of interesting to see where Japan goes in a sense of that. Yes.
What is your favorite character type you've played in the past, and what character type would you want to play in the future that you haven't before?
I love princesses. Anyone who's like very innocent and very sweet, because I'm like, oh, you were me when I was 15. I'm so old. But I would love to play a bitch. Tiara was kind of a bitch, but she was a nice bitch. She was like, you're really stupid, but it's okay. I've never played like the tsundere bitches. I've never played the types of characters or the people are like, oh, I totally didn't picture you as that. I'm usually the, oh, it's a sweet character. That's a Natalie character, which I'm very thankful for. But in the future, I want different cookie shapes, like different cookie cutters. And I have the same, I'm starting to get new cookie cutters right now. But that would be really cool, like tsundere. I've always wanted to be a villain. Always, man, come on, Sailor Moon, come on. I've read for that show 5 times. It's like, come on, just give me something. So fingers crossed. But yeah, those are the 2 things I'd like to test out. At least I think they'll test my range and my acting sense. Because because I can't be evil. Yes.
You touched on that as I was thinking it. Do you feel like you're typecast, and do you feel like your range can go into a villain range very well?
That's a very good question. I've noticed since moving to Texas, my range has been much different than it was in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, like, oh, you play princesses, and you can only have you have this range, and this range, and this range. But Funimation, I recently booked a character where her voice is the lowest I can ever go, and she is the villain. And I was like, oh my god! And I was very excited. I can't even talk about that yet. But the voice, I think the voice was down here. It's more projected. But it was like, I sound like a man! Yeah! But, yeah, I think that's the lowest I've ever gone. And I've noticed Texas will take a chance and be like, okay, I trust you with this. Los Angeles, like, you only do this. And I lived there for 3 years, and I appreciated it, but in the sense of like, I want to see what else I can do. I want to see what voices come out of my throat. So I moved to Texas, I'm like, this is me, and people are like, I like it, I'm gonna book you. So, but maybe one day typecasting won't be a thing anymore. I know a lot of actors go through it, which is fine because that means instant work, and who doesn't like instant work, really? I love work, everyone loves work. And if you think I can play that character, now you know I can play that character, throw money at me, I'll do it. Basically, that's a good question too. Make it rain! Yes?
Are you approached for auditions or you just like?
In Los Angeles, you are usually emailed for auditions. The studio will be like, hey, we have this amazing project we'd love you to the studio I worked with, Bang Zoom, the casting director will choose who you read for, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. For me, it was like, oh man, I wanted to read these other characters. So I read it for a show last year where they gave me one character, and there's 9 girls. I'm like, I feel like I can do at least 5 of these. So I wrote back, I'm like, hey, you know, I would really love to read for these other 5, thinking I would get a no, you can't read for those other 5. Like, oh sure, it's fine, have fun. And I actually got a call back for a character they thought I never could voice. And it was a very, very shy, very soft character. Like, hey, Miss Lee. Like, we didn't know you could even do that. I'm like, it's because you didn't ask. But Texas, I've noticed, is you 99.9999% go in for auditions and read, which I love, because you get to meet the director, meet the engineer, see the studio, actually get to read about the show. And I think that's amazing, because that usually people are like, oh, the show's about this, and then sometimes it could be right or wrong. Sometimes there don't be any information. Oh my gosh, but with Funimation, you usually go in and read, and then you hear back about a week or so if you've booked it. But with broadcast dubs, there are no auditions. They're like, okay, who can do this, who's good, who can we use? That's basically the huge difference between those 3. Did I answer the question correctly? Yeah? Okay, cool. Yes.
Kind of an odd question, but how do you feel about like characters who are cast with the voice of an opposite gender? For example, Gohan from Dragon Ball Z, who is voiced by Stephanie Nolly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that should be a more common trend, or is it just that's set by like the company to voice them, or is it just like by action?
Depends actually on the director, how they want the voice to sound. For Gohan, usually 99.9% of the times, a little boy will always be played by a woman. Because I guess to them it sounds more believable, but I have heard little boys played by men. And I'm actually in a movie, Giovanni's Island, where the 2 little boys in that movie are actually little boys. And they met me like, wow, you're a woman. You're not 12. I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm sorry. And he's like, but I love Tanya. But I know, I do too. But yeah, it really depends on the director and their vision in the sense of how they hear the voice. But I know Dragon Ball Z is famous for using women as little boys. And so is One Piece. And yeah, it's just a thing. I mean, I hope one day a man can voice a little boy. I'd be like, good job, here's a piece of cake. I hope your vocal cords aren't fried. But we'll see, hopefully in the future. Great. Any other questions? Don't feel shy. Honestly, we have like a long time together.
You have a lot of time left.
You have a lot of time together. Your hand is up first, and then I'll take you next.
I'm curious what your prior to voice acting, what your favorite medium was for consuming, like anime, manga, stuff like that? If you...
When I was 12, my teenage years, I was obsessed with manga. I actually found this out recently. The reason why America does not bring much anime over for girls is because they usually buy manga. And it's like, that's not true. No way, it is true. Because when I was that age, I only bought manga. And I was obsessed with Chobits, Love Hina, Alice 19th, anything by Yuotase. Yeah, I was obsessed with manga. And Love Hina was my absolute favorite. If you don't know what Love Hina is, it's great. Read the manga, it is amazing. I collected all 14 points. That was a huge deal for me. So I'm like, I only get like a $10 allowance. Please take my money, Borders. Thank you. But yeah, manga was my huge addiction. And then it became anime on TV, Adult Swim, Cartoon Network. And to this day, I still collect manga and I watch anime. And I remember my mother, she made my first convention, I was 7 years old. Love my mommy. And she was like, you're not gonna like this when you're 20, right? I don't know, Mom. And fast forward to I was 20, I'm like, hey Mom, I like it and I'm gonna be a voice actor. And she's like, whatever makes you happy, honey. So that was, I think my parents are pretty proud of me because I became something I actually wanted to be. And that takes a lot of hard work and effort, and it's very difficult to get through the beginning stages. But I'm very happy to be where I'm at right now. Yeah, so thank you for having me. And next questions? Oh yeah, you're the next question, good sir, with your Miles Edgeworth t-shirt.
Well, out of all the characters that you've played, which one do you think you could possibly cosplay as a Pokemon?
Oh God. Well, most of them don't have breasts, or they do have breasts, which is a huge factor for me. I don't look good in cosplay. It's because I was born with beautiful caterpillar eyebrows, and that's very hard to cover up. But if I could, I would love to cosplay Tsukino from Showa Rock, because then I could eat sweets all day and night and just don't care. Be like, I'm gonna eat this mochi, I'm gonna eat this cake, I'm gonna eat all this stuff. But yeah, I would definitely cosplay her. But I've been trying to make my boyfriend convince him to be Gundam from Danganronpa 1 or 2. He's like, dude, oh my god. It's because I'm like, if you do that, then I'll cosplay Sonya, and then we can just get hamsters. It'd be great. Yeah. I love hamsters now. Next question. Yes.
Did you ever read Marmalade Boy?
Yes, I did. I love that. Oh my god, I love Marmalade Boy. I love that one. I loved. Oh my god, what was the other Marmalade Boy as a kid? Anything that I could rent from the manga section in my library. Rama 1/2, Inuyasha. See, I grew up in a town where I only had one stoplight, so our manga section was like limited, and people are like, the fuck, your first anime was Evangelion? What's wrong with you? I'm like, I love that show. It was my first one, and I still love it to this day. I love Evangelion. Like, I'm a huge Eva nerd, and so my roommates like, can we like watch it all the time, please? The third movie just came out finally. Yay! So, yeah, I love manga. I don't know how to voice so good. Yes.
Did you ever read Shadow Star Naruto?
No, I don't think they had that one. Is it new or old?
It's pretty old. It's Mohiro Hito.
Oh.
It was made into an anime too. I don't know if it was.
Is it called Banner of the Stars in English?
No, it's called Shadow Star.
Shadow Star? I'll look into that one.
It's pretty interesting as well. It's basically starts off to being really cutesy with these girls that have this little like star shape.
Oh no, I have read that one!
Yes, and then it gets like really violent.
Yep, it gets super violent, like what's that show called? The opening is called Uninstall. It's really good. Oh my god, I can't remember. I know it's related to anime. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Nostalgia, like super cute looking.
Yeah. It's very deceptive.
Yeah, that actually had that collection at my library.
Nice.
I was like, I'm gonna read you. I'm like, this is really messed up, but I'm still gonna read you. I think you're next up.
Yes, I was gonna say, if you could play any character from the past, and what character would you play in future film?
Does it matter if they're dubbed or not dubbed?
No.
Okay.
It's your choice.
I actually got to read for Sailor Neptune and Sailor Moon, And I was these close. And I'm like, so if I had a chance to reread for her, I would. The show I love to this, like, I cannot tell you how much I love the show. It's called Kimi ni Toroke.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my god, we should be friends. Please add me on Twitter and Facebook. Oh my god. I love that show. To this day, I'm just like, I've never related to a character as much as Sawako Kuronuma ever. And it's so good. And then, it's so good. It has so many feels. And I'm always like, hey, Nisa, you should dub that. You should dub, please. Please dub that. Here's $1 million. But no, that would be a dream role because that show, I was going through a lot at that time when it came out in Japan, and I was watching it actually while I was coming out in Japan. And yeah, that show helped me through a lot, and I relate to the character a lot to this day. So. And another show, Love Live, I would love. If we ever dub the second season to Aquarius, any of those 9 girls, because I'm not any of the previous 9s, I'm like any of the other 9 girls. I'd love to be in that show and just dance and sing. Yeah. Next question. Don't be shy. It is okay. Yes.
Are you a fan of Wake Up Girls?
Actually, it was in Japan when that came out, and it was a huge deal. I'm like, what is this Wake Up Girls? But sadly, when I was in Japan, I literally learned of Love Live right when I landed. I'm like, what is this magical anime? I must have it in my hands. And so I was very obsessed with that when I was there. And I learned of it when I came back to America a week later. I was like, this show is great. So I will look into it. I haven't been into it.
I just saw it recently. Good stuff.
I'm excited. Yes, good sir.
A lot of these are repeats from the first panel question, but
No, don't worry.
most amazing request from a fan and the most horrible request.
Ooh. Someone asked. Ooh, this is gonna get a little gruesome. If you're not comfortable with sexual things, please close your ears. Someone asked me if I could say in my tiara voice wow, this was really inappropriate then I realized. They asked me if I could say in her voice, could you please me as hard as you can? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna say that because one, we can actually get in trouble if you say things that aren't from the title, because you're actually portraying the character incorrectly. And also, no, I'm never gonna, no, thank you. That was the worst experience I've had. I've also had to sign toilet paper, which is very difficult to sign if it's not thick. And I'm like, this is like crappy toilet paper, like what the hell? I'm like, I know what you do is wipe your butt with it, it's so rude. But I think the best thing I've had is a girl come up to me, and this is mostly fan experiences, and she came up to me after Danganronpa 2 came out. And she's like, oh my gosh, you voiced Sonya Nevermind, right? And I said, yeah, honey. Do you have a question for me? She's like, no, I just want to tell you, Gundam and Sonya changed my life, and thank you so much for portraying her very well, because I was really worried that the English dub would suck. And, which, come on, we all get that. And I'm like, oh no, thank you, I'm so glad you liked it. And she's like, no, you don't understand, it was really depressing, like she was going through depression and she was thinking of killing herself. She's like, that really helped me. And to see that spoiler alert, my character doesn't die. Sorry. So she's like, it really helped me in the sense that you didn't die because she went through the same things I did. I'm like, oh my God. Because you never know how much influence you can have on someone, especially when you voice a character. So it's a very, very touching and beautiful moment. You're like, oh my God, I did that to someone's life. And I cried a little bit, like, oh my gosh, honey, I'm so glad you're here with us. Thank you for, not doing that, because I've known a lot of people who've taken their lives, and it's very painful. Yeah, that's a good question. Yes?
On a happy note, the hamsters comment earlier made me think, have you ever had a pet with a cheesy anime name or anything like that?
I had a cat, and I named her Coco. I think that's as weird as it got. Because I wanted to name my dog when I was a kid Sakura, because it's after Sakura. And my mom was like, that's a weird name. We're not gonna name the dog that. I'm like, well, I love the name Sakura. No, I've actually never named a cat or a dog or anything strange name, but I do want to name a cat. If I ever get it, or a Cocker Spaniel, I want to name it Sonia, because she's adorable. And I'm like, oh, my name is Sonia. I love you. But I do have a cat named Chevy, and I Instagram got him a lot. He is a fat, fluff cat, and I love him so much. But yeah, one day I'll have an anime-related hamster or anything. I know my roommate does. He named his hamster Ebichu, Kiki, and Gigi. I'm like, oh, so cute, so cute. Yeah, I'm like, I want to pet Ebichu. He's so tiny. Yeah. Any other questions? Feel free. No worries. Yes.
Have you ever considered or thought about doing Japanese language accent?
I actually did. Last year I got a chance to go to Production AG because I was in a movie called Giovanni's Island, which was one of their movies that was nominated for an Oscar. One of those two, Oscar or something else. Yeah. But I got the opportunity to actually see Production AG. If you don't know what Production AG is, they made Ghost in the Shell, Gantia, all these amazing shows. And I got to meet certain people. I got to meet the cinematographer for Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my god, how do you know what's there? And because most people don't expect me to speak Japanese, and I did. Like, what? I'm like, yep. That was pretty cool. It was a very cool experience. And if you ever get a chance to go to Japan, Production AG does have its own pizzeria. It is the best pizza you'll ever have! And I have pictures of it on my Facebook and Instagram. And it's so neat. They have the best portions in Japan. I miss it every day. But yeah. I've been asked that a lot though. Like, you speak Japanese, why don't you just go to Japan? Like, I don't know. Maybe one day when I'm like 30, which is soon-ish. Maybe when I'm 40. Yay. But we'll see. Any other questions? It can be anything, guys. Don't fret. Yeah.
What was something really fun that you did in Japan?
Oh, God. I went to the Studio Ghibli Museum. And Studio Ghibli is very close to my heart because when I was a kid, I wanted to animate for them. Actually, I wanted to be an animator when I was a kid. And my mindset was, I'll work for Pixar, and then I'll meet Miyazaki-san, and then I'll work for Ghibli. That's not how it works. So I realized, like, oh, animation's really hard. # no thanks. Because I used to draw all the time. But the Studio Ghibli Museum was the best thing I've ever experienced in my life. If you have a chance to go, tickets are stupid cheap in the winter for traveling, and the tickets for Ghibli I think are like $15. It is amazing, and they have the best food there. But yeah, I cried a little bit when I went there. What else? Oh my God, what did I do? I went to Production AG, which is amazing. I was only there for a week. I'm planning to go again in October with my boyfriend for at least 2 weeks because I want to go to Kyoto and Fox Island, Bunny Island, anything with an animal island. I just want to go all over the places. But yeah, again, go. Yeah, just go to Japan. It's great. You will not regret it, even for a week. It's great. And when I keep saying this, don't be shy. Ask any questions. I feel I'm a hella awkward person. Toad's okay. Yes.
What were some weird experiences that you had in Japan? I know I've heard some people got their hair touched because they couldn't believe that was a real color of hair. I was just wondering if anything like that had happened.
It wasn't weird, but my friend who I was staying with at the time was sick, and I went with my friend Lauren Kahn, Christina V, and her boyfriend Tracy. And they were doing their own things, and Lauren, my roommate, was sick. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go walk around. Is that okay? And she's like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, I'll buy you some vitamin C. I think the strangest thing that happened was, it wasn't strange, it was just very kind. I went to my dream place to ever go to in Tokyo was the Tokyo Park Hyatt Hotel because my favorite movie was filmed there, which was Lost in Translation. It is a slow movie, but it's the most beautiful movie I've ever seen. And I love Bill Murray. I love him so much. But I went there by myself, which I was very scared because it was my first, I was going there to drink drinks, and I was very excited. Also, I had to take a taxi back, which was terrifying. Don't take taxis in Japan, they're very expensive. I learned that the hard way. But I was drinking, and I put my drink down, and I was reaching to get my cell phone, and then my drink, which was empty, tipped over and shattered. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And mind you, it's all Japanese. The man's like, it's fine, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm just so sorry. He's like, no, do you want another one? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's on us, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. You're giving me free alcohol? Because I broke your glass? I'm like, that's weird. But I was very the weirdest thing, okay, I just remembered. Weirdest thing, I was outside of Shibuya and Forever 21, and this guy, I wish my friend was there. She goes inside to get shoes. I'm like, okay, I'll wait outside. And so I'm waiting, and like, I bought cigarillos, because if it was anyone, has anyone here watched or read Nana? No? Because that's my favorite manga. I'm like, well, I might as well smoke because I'm in Japan, and I don't smoke usually in America at all, period. So I'll get cigarillos, because you can't inhale them. So I'm like, okay, and so I'm like, oh crap, my lighter's not working. What happens? I was like, is this fucking for real? A host comes up. A host, a real life host. And he's like, hi. And he goes, and I'm like, arigato. And we start chatting, and I'm like, he's like, oh, do you live around here? I'm like, no. I'm visiting. And he's like, oh, you should come to my host club. And he gives me his business card. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm like, arigato. And he's like complimenting me, like, no, please go to your work, please. I'm not paying you here, that's weird. And plus, that's weird. Thank you for lighting my cigarillo. And you can go on your merry way. And I was trying to tell my friend this, she's like, that did not happen. I'm like, I shit you not that just happened. And that was pretty weird, because I was just, I'm like, oh, I'll just smoke this later. And this guy was just like, but yeah, I think that's my weirdest experience there. Everyone was super nice. I did have a woman constantly speak English to me when I was speaking clearly in Japanese back to her, not with an English accent. And she's like, then I hit her. I was about to leave. She's like, you're speaking Japanese. I'm like, yes, I am speaking Japanese. Yes, I am. And I'm like, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna buy anything from your store. But yeah, that was really weird. I love Japan. Any other questions? Yes.
Oddest food you've seen?
Oddest food? My friend Tracy wanted to try whale, but we couldn't find it in Japan. I think it is illegal or something like that. I have tried frog legs. Those are fine. Steak tartare is like the bomb. It is the best. I'm trying to think of other weird foods. Escargot. It's okay. I don't like slimy things. That's the only weird foods I can think of. Any other stuff? Anything? Yes, good sir.
In Giovanni's Island, there was a little tiny role that had an accent.
Oh yeah. I don't do accents, period. So when I found out I booked the role, I'm like, you're kidding me, right? Oh shit. And I played, at the time I played my audition for my ex-boyfriend. He's like, oh honey, that's not good. I'm like, thanks for instilling confidence in me. Wow. But I found out the director was very good at accents, Wendy Lee. And she's like, just follow my lead and we'll be fine. I'm like, okay. Then after like the first few takes, I didn't need her assistance anymore. And it's something really quick to pick up. But now my Russian accent, I'm like, damn, I'm so much better at it. Oh well. But it's very flawless. You can't tell that I'm not Russian in it. I've been told, like, people are like, oh, you speak Russian. I'm like, no, I don't. I was literally just mouthing words. Oh God, because I had this guy come up to me at an expo and he's like, oh, you speak Russian, let's speak together. I'm like, oh shit. I don't speak Russian. I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, that's fine. You just did a really good job thinking I thought you did. I'm like, glad you did, that's my job. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. It's a good movie. Oh, if you have the chance to watch it, please do. And please bring a huge box of tissues. It's like 1,000 times sadder than Graveyard of Fireflies. Which is a hard thing to do.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And you recommend this movie?
Yes, I do. I really do.
Natalie just loves seeing you cry.
I love crying. I'm really good at it. I can cry on stage. I'm like, people are like, why are you doing that? I just could always do it. Weird tidbit now. I can cry on command. Yes. Any other questions? Don't be shy. It's
I have
okay.
one then. Have you read Absolute Boyfriend by Yu Watase?
Yes, I have.
So, are you a Soshi or a Knight fan?
Can I be both?
No, you have to choose one at the end of the manga.
I like sushi. Yeah. But then again, I'm a huge fan of anyone in glasses in anime. It's kind of a problem. It's a huge problem, actually. Because I'm like, oh, I got it, till it's over him. But now I'm watching this show called Princess Stride. I'm like, I'm loving everyone in the show. It's so good. If you guys watch that, you should watch it. It's on Funimation.com and it's airing every Tuesday. It's so good. Yes. Any other questions? I also play Ultimate games. That's another. I answered my own question. I'm not judging him. Yes.
What's your favorite idol group? And also your favorite J-rock group?
Ooh, my favorite idol group? It's Muse. I love them in character or out of character. They're amazing. Favorite? Tari Hikaru. I know she's a soloist, but I'm like, damn, I love you. Just speak, just keep going. Maya Sakamoto is also one of my favorites. I'm trying to think of my iTunes right now. Like, who else do I have? Goose House, I've recently become so obsessed with.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen Your Lie in April, they do the opening. Who else? Mayan is pretty good. I love anyone. I'm a huge fan of ballads in any language, mostly Japanese. I'm like, every time I go to karaoke, I'm like, yeah, ballad time, slow songs. And everyone's like, God, I'm falling asleep. I'm like, fuck you, it's great. But I will say to this day, my absolutely favorite song for 15 years in writing is Melodies of Life from Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX is my absolute favorite Final Fantasy. I'm answering so many questions right now, I'm sorry. But yeah. Oh, I love Final Fantasy IX. And yes.
Any shameless plugs for anything upcoming?
Yes! It was supposed to be announced yesterday, but I can't announce it today. I can't announce it yet. Let me check my Twitter. I know I just announced Love Live, which comes out February 14th. Where's my Twitter app? Because I'll announce it if they release it, because that's another part of NDA. You have to wait until they release it.
Is there like any official channels for that, or is just when you hear a tweet or something from the
When
main
you
company?
hear, basically when you see a tweet, it's like, oh, here's a cast announcement. If your name's involved, like, here, can you release it?
So there's not like an official time, like, hey, February 13th at like 4:30, we will announce it.
Depends on the studio. I know they're supposed to announce Love Live actually in October, and they literally just announced it yesterday. And most of the cast was like, oh, wait, what? So sometimes they forget to include the cast members to plug their own things. But it really depends on, oh, come on. No, I can't announce it yet. I might announce it later tonight, who knows, or tomorrow.
So follow you on Twitter.
Yes.
Or shop at
Natalie Hoover VO is my Twitter account. I usually post about food, cats, and anything really. I love food. But yeah, NDAs are a pain in your butt, but they are needed. Yes. Any other questions?
Do you have a studio that you really enjoy working for?
All of them?
Okay.
I like working with Funimation because I'm starting to get to know all the directors, and we all have a lot of inside jokes. Bang Zoom I was with since my very first day, 4 years ago. So they're always nice to come back to. Cup of Tea does all the Tales games, and I went there to record. That was a lot of fun. Actually, any studio I go to is a lot of fun. You get to know a lot of people. I went to a recent studio where I recorded Rune Story, and I was recording for this character who barks as a dog, and her dog, the client's dog, was there, and it was barking back because I thought I was talking to it. And it was really sad. Like, I have no clue what I said to that dog, but it looks really happy. I'm sorry. But yeah, I like all the every studio has a different charm to it, for many reasons. Yeah, and it's all soundproof, so that's pretty cool. Yes. Any other? I'm just gonna awkwardly stare at all of you. Because if you got no Q's, I got no A's. Q?
Sure. Like you said, you can have anywhere from like I know, constant NDA question. If you have like so many, how hard is it to keep track of, like you said, anyone from like 0 to 6 in your personal career, to keep track of all of those to make sure you don't get in trouble? Because like you said, you have a span of months to remember. You can't talk about something.
That's a very good question. This actually happened to my friend Kyla Bear. Reason why Danganronpa 2 was announced when it was announced is because my lovely Kyla Bear posted his character because the first game came out and he thought that was the second game. And it was pretty, he didn't get in trouble, but he's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know, to the studio and Nisa America. And like, it's fine, so they announced it because fans were like, that character's from Danganronpa 2! They're dubbing it! So it was a huge thing. It was also, it's a very stressful thing to have actors not post anything about their in. I know that happens a lot with Dragon Ball Z because they already play the character. Why can't they announce it? Japan is very not lenient about those things. So like, you can't announce it because it's not out in your country yet. Because who knows? It might not be brought over to America, and fans are so excited about it, and then it's never brought over, and then they think it's brought over because you're in it, or you said you're in it. That can be a huge issue too. But for me, luckily, I have a list on my phone of what I'm in, and I have a thumbs up if it's ready to announce. It's a thumbs down or nothing next to it if I can't talk about it yet. Because I have like 5 projects I can't talk about yet on my phone. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'll wait. What helps also is if you look on Google, look on Twitter, because like with Love Live yesterday, no one, the main cast didn't even know it was out. You had to like literally look it up. And I'm like sending all these texts to Caitlin Glass. I'm like, it's okay to announce it. You're totally okay. She's like, okay, cool. But we also like to help each other out in the sense of, like some of my friends have posted things in the past of like, you can't announce that yet. And I'm like, hey, you should like delete that like right now before the fans see it. Oh, they just thought, oh, well fuck. Have fun. But it's best just to cover your own ass and just play stupid sometimes. Yeah. Yes.
What's your favorite, or what are your favorite anime and manga from before the 90s?
Before the 90s, I wasn't born. I was born in '89. Is Fushi Yugi one of those?
I think that's 90s.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Any of Macross or?
Cross. I didn't read any of those. I'm sorry.
Galaxy Express 9, Cyber Double 9.
I know where is she.
Anything references to Joker himself out there?
Jack. Or anything from Tezuka-sama.
I'm sorry. I'll read all of these tonight. So what am I missing?
I met this Korean guy, an engineer, this like 30-something Korean engineer, and was asking him like somehow the subject of manga came up, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm not really into that. And I was like, I'm not really into that. And I was like, do you know Black Jack? And he was like, oh yeah, I have the full set in Korean.
See, I found out it's easier to collect manga in Japanese, and it's cheaper. And it's actually a great way to learn your Japanese, and hiragana, furigana, and katakana. Katakana can suck it. It is so hard. And I'm like, I know this is an American word, but I don't care. It's very difficult for me. Manga, I'm collecting Kimi Joroke all in Japanese. I will collect it in English soon, but I'm just slowly but surely getting to all of them. Yeah. We have from 3:52. Any other quick minute questions? Yes.
Your favorite GQ warrior?
Hattori.
Yeah.
I never liked long hair. To this day I don't, but when it's Hattori, I'm like, he's still my baby lunch. And he is just such a sweet gentleman. If it's like, excuse me, tell him homie, I'm like, excuse me, no, hashtag you're wrong. He is not royalty, and he doesn't treat Miyako very well. So, in the end he does, but in the beginning he's totally a douche to her. But Hattori is always like, let me take good care of him. Like, okay. I related to Miyako a lot as a kid though. I'm like, oh my gosh, you love food, I love food. We both have brown hair and blue-eyed eyes. So many similarities. But yeah, I love that. There you go. If you guys have not seen Fushi Yugi, it's a very old show. It's super good. It's like an original reverse harem with fantasy. Yeah. Super good. Yes.
Character you had the biggest crush on?
As a kid? Oh god, Trunks. Trunks!
Yeah.
Trunks was hardcore. I was like, he's such a bad boy. He's so hot! But nowadays, while watching Princess Stride, I watch it with my roommate, and I'm just like, I love everyone in the show. Everyone's so cute. And I actually bought the Otome game because I love it so much. And Heath was my favorite in that show. If you ever watch it, he is totes kawaii. Yeah, which is cool. I'm sorry, I totally did that. I'm trash. Any other questions? Any other ones? Hashtag Puriza? I will not be upset.
What are your favorite anime from the last few years?
Kimitsudoke, Nagi no Asuka, My Love Story. That is, I'm so so good. Anti-hazard. What else do I like? Love Live. Come on, brain, come on. You know what? I'm gonna look at this. Death Parade is amazing.
It is.
I don't know what's in me. Plastic Memories. Has anyone here seen Plastic Memories? It is amazing. I think it's on Crunchyroll. It's amazing. I'm also kind of obsessed with Monster Musume. That show is kind of great.
Yes.
The mermaid is my favorite character. What's her name, honey?
Maroon.
Maroon. She has like, if they have any figurines of her, I'm gonna buy all of you. What other shows? Erased. Erased is my crack right now. It is amazing. Episode 5 came out. I have to wait till I go home because I can't watch it with my roommate. It's very difficult. I'm sorry, I'm very angry right now. I'm talking to the camera. Yeah, I have a very open mind to any show as long as I can clearly enjoy it. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, feel free to come up to me afterwards and be like, this show is great. Like, I'm gonna watch it tonight, Crunchyroll. 5-minute mark. Got 5 minutes left. Who is next? Was it you two? Which one? You want to go first?
Your current husband.
I don't know if I have a husbando. Thank you for coming, gentlemen. I don't know if I have a husbando. I've never seen Free. I will admit that. I've never seen it. But Matoki, he looks super cute. I don't know if I have a husbando yet. I need to fix this problem. Because I'm always like, my boyfriend is lovely. I love you, boyfriend. I'm like, what are these anime men? I'll collect figurines of that. It's fine. Maybe I'm trying to think of that. I will think of that and come back to that. Next question.
What manga that's going on right now would you love to see turned into an anime?
I don't think I've read any recent manga lately. After School Nightmare. It's by, I read that a few months ago. Oh no, I'm sorry, not months, years ago. I think it's by a Korean artist. Oh no, Setsuno Mirashino. Oh crap, I do not remember. My friend got me obsessed with it. Basically, it's a school where you go to school and you fall asleep and you're in this alternate universe, but you're still at school, but you're avatars. Like there's this guy who is a guy in the real life, but in the dream world he's a girl. And he's exactly the same, but he has breasts and a vagina. And it basically, what it reveals is that you are your true self in that dream world. So basically he wanted to be a girl. And I would love to see more of Wandering Sun animated. That series is amazing. What other show? Alice 19th is a Yuatase old series. I'd like to see that. It's like Alice in like Wonderland meets like love triangle between siblings. It's great. What else? Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Yeah, I'll think of more because it's Saturday and I'm digesting food. Yeah. Any last minute questions? Any of them? We got 3 minutes. You, and then you.
Do you have any tips on learning a new language?
Yes, when I was first learning Japanese, it was the most difficult thing. I learned it at university. I don't recommend that because the way they were trying to teach me is like, it's this plus this equals this. I'm like, that's not language, that's a math problem. I'm not good at math. I highly recommend self-teaching yourself because that's what I did. I started off when I was like 7 and then I didn't go to real Japanese class until college. Reading, writing, just listening to anime even helped. But you can't derive anime language, Japanese, to real Japanese. Because like there's some words where real Japanese people will use those. But I can talk to you more about that after the panel because it's actually a huge thing. Are you going to be afterwards? Cool. I'm going to stop you and be like, this is what you do. Who was next? You were next and then him.
So Giovanni's on the very Cosplay and have you ever watched or read the original?
No, I was trying to find that book when I was in Japan, and I'm like, do you have this? And like, oh no, we don't. And I was like, shit. I've been trying to buy it online. It looks like amazing. I would like to buy it. Like, thank you for coming. Last, good sir in the back.
Your favorite time of year?
Anything but summer. I experienced summer in Texas for the first time, and I'm not looking forward to it again. I don't know how y'all can do it, because it's a pain in the ass. It's very, very hot. And coming from California, I'm like, oh, it's 150 in the valley, hashtag Toad's got this. And I come here, I'm like, I can't use my AC in my electric car. Oh God, I'm gonna die. It's very painful. But I love spring and I love autumn, and I secretly love winter because I love snow. I like anything except summer. Any last quick questions? It's 4 o'clock. If you have any more questions, if you're too shy, just come up to me after. The what? Yeah, I do drive electric. The what?
Is that the one plugged in over there?
No, I didn't drive it here. I left it at home. I drive a Fiat 500e, and that's a pure electric car. It's kind of yeah, I love Fiats. It's pretty cute. But yeah, if you're too shy to ask any questions, please feel free to come to me anytime. I'll be here until tomorrow night. And thank you for coming. Caitlin and I getting into voice acting.
5 o'clock right back here.
5 o'clock right back here if you're interested. And you can ask all the voice acting questions then. And there's some autographs tomorrow. And more panels. Thank you so much for coming and listening to my ramble. And have a good evening. Hashtag thank you.
Before I go back to